y'all. Exclusively interviewing Adlib.
What up, what up, what up, what up?
And who is Philadelphia, PA's Adlib?
What's going on, man? I'm an MC, I'm a father, you know, I'm a blue collar people's person, you know? That's it, man. Repping that gutter shit.
And Ed, Ice-T, Special Ed tapes, he supplied to you nicely. Absolute Lunacy, the cassette tape.
Wow.
And starting out since the Garbage Pail Kids,
Wow.
Let's hear about these days and times.
Man, that's cool, man. Garbage Pail Kids was my first group. It's me and my man A1. Shout out my man A1. And yeah, man, I just didn't want to take no for an answer as a kid. So people weren't giving me a shot, so I went out and got my own fucking halls, started throwing our own shows, and we never put a record out, but in Philadelphia, you say GBK and everybody knows, man. We used to wild out, man, and have a blast, man. Bunch of dirty kids, man, getting it in.
And then ODD nominated for 7 Philly Hip Hop Awards to the album Talk Hard. How did that go? And the fire halls throwing them parties.
Yeah, man. Like I said, the fire halls were amazing, man. It was an amazing time. You know, we're just kids and we're just fucking raging and going crazy. ODD, shout out my old crew, ODD, Casper, my man A1. You know, yeah, man, we used to have a blast, man. ODD. Those were the days. Those were the days. We didn't put it out on a record either. None of my old groups ever put out a record. It's crazy.
And then to go into Green Mile, share about the tape and the scene out of Philly, so we know what's the deal.
Yeah, Green Mile's right after Talk Hard. You know, we got a lot of love from the Philly Hip Hop Awards. That year I think it was like 2003, and yeah, man, we put out our first video that year, and we just grinding, man. It was just grinding. Green Mile was great times, man. I had a blast making that record. Shout out to my man Hawkeye, wherever the fuck you are, homie.
And working with Danny Diablo and the whole crew, how did that go for you and the experience?
I was on the Jedi Mind Tricks History of Violence tour. I met Danny Diablo in New York, and then again when we were in LA, we linked up. Man, that's one of the realest, most respected people, you know, in the game, period. And man, he's one of my closest friends. I love Danny. Shout out Ill Rock, forever Ill Rock records here.
And the Brass Knuckle Hustle, how did that go, and what was the people saying?
Yeah, Brass Knuckle Hustle, Danny Diablo and Ill Rock Records gave me a spot. So many people came through and showed me love. That was the first time I worked with Slain. I worked with Freddie Madball and Danny Diablo on that record, my whole Freedom Union crew. So yeah, Brass Knuckle Hustle was a blast, and I haven't had a day job since Brass Knuckle Hustle came out. So.
And say hello to the bad guy, over 10K in downloads, and then what happened? Vids with Grim Reapers, Hand Signs, The League with General Steel of Smith & Wesson, Hate My Guts with Reef the Lost Cause and Slain. Snow Goons.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good opportunity working with the Snow Goons on Black Snow and on their last record. Those are the homies. Yeah, man, say hello to the bad guy. Shout out to Shakyville DJs, Hip Hop DX for always showing me love. You know, say hello.
And Bad Intentions. Tell us about the record. How's it gone? Working with Ali Arms, and now the Lawnmower Man tour with Mad Child.
Yeah, man. Bad Intentions was a great record. Shout out to Red Phone Records who put that record out. I got to work with Vinny Paz and Jay Son, a bunch of the homies. And yeah, man, I enjoyed making that record. I toured a lot on that record, and now I'm pushing that Bad News, man. Universal, chamber music, bomb.
And how's that going for you for that record?
It's going great, man. This record is very heavy influence on the Battle Axe Warriors movement. I got down with Battle Axe, and you know, been showing nothing but love, man. Mad Child is the fucking homie, you know. I got nothing but love for that dude, nothing but respect. His work ethic is off the hook. His lyricism is off the hook. So it's an honor for me to be on this tour with him. It was an honor to work on Bad News and put that on a bigger level in the chain stores. My first time being out there in the chain stores.
And the best tour and largest crowd you've ever rocked. Jedi Mind Tricks, Europe, Spain?
Yeah, the biggest crowd was Royal Arena Festival in Switzerland. It was like 25,000 people. So that was on some Ozzy Osbourne shit. But everything in Europe has always been, you know, amazing. Canada is always amazing, you know. And, you know, of course, United States, man. I love rocking in the States as well, man.
And your best hip hop memory you've been part of or contributed to?
My best hip hop memory. That's a good fucking question, bro. You know, I got good memories and I got bad memories. I think my best memory was probably the first time going over to Europe with Shop Blockers. We had such a fucking blast. We did like 20 cities, and I had a blast, man. So that was probably my best memory. My worst memory was at the Adlib Fest. I was sick. I had a fucking stomachache, and DMC from Run DMC was standing right behind me, and I busted ass. And this man, I turned around and this man put a scrunch face on, so I felt off.
And what's next? Projects?
Yeah, man, I'm just gonna keep pushing Bad News and keep that going, man. That's all. And keep promoting it. I'm happy to be here on the Lawnmower Man tour. As soon as this ends, I'll be back out on the Bad News tour part 2.
And anything to say to Canada?
I love Canada. Hey, I love y'all.
And got any shouts?
Yeah, man, just shout out to to the Battle Axe Warriors movement. Shout out to my Freedom Union brothers, Philly hip hop. You know what it is, man. Thank you so much, brother.
And shouts to DJ Dow Jones,
DJ, of course, DJ Dow
Matt
Jones,
Chubb.
and my man Archivist.
Yeah, and this is the Archivist, and you already know the name, y'all.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.